school, I probably remember like 10% of all the stuff. I went through all those books. And yeah, it looks great on my wall. It's like, oh, great, you know, you got a degree, you got a diploma, whatever. But that's not why I did it. And that should be not why you did it either. I mean, you did it because it's the thing to do. You didn't know that at this point what you'd become. But you know now that it's not the things you learned or the things you studied. It's your thinking that made you become a different person. You may not think you're very different, but you're different because you went through this process. And as you continue going through Education of Gold, you will learn to think differently and learn to think better than you did before you started in these programs. And that's the bigger picture. It's not that you learn how to do, you know, have some value and, you know, greater than, less than, forget all that stuff. I don't even remember half that stuff myself either, you know, it doesn't matter. I don't apply that in my real life, okay? But it doesn't matter. It's the learning to think different than you did before you started this program. So that's what's really most important. A lot of you probably have a lot of fears. In fact, I would bet a lot of people in this room have different fears they bring to the table. I think all of us walk life with lots of different fears. I think some people kind of wonder, you know, what if I never really get a good job? You know, what if I never figure out what I want to do in life? You know, what if no one ever looks up to me? I mean, we all have a desire and need to be respected and valued as people. And I think some people wonder, well, what if that never happens to me? Because it's not happening now. I think some people wonder, what if I'll never be rich like other people? And, you know, is the man always going to keep me down? And these are some pretty real fears that we have to address. And the more you focus on those fears, the more they're likely to appear in your life. And I want to talk to you how you can overcome those and make this happen. I don't know if anybody here has ever heard of a gentleman by the name of Eckhart Tolle. He's written a couple of books. There's a lot of spiritual, motivational, kind of alternative type things. And he has a great line that I absolutely love. He says that outflow determines inflow. So you cannot receive that which you do not give. And this is a spiritual law. You are not capable of receiving anything that you haven't given first. So I do this with a lot of business coaches, and I try to explain to a lot of people that the only way, if you don't have money or you're broke or you don't have enough coming in, it's because you're not giving out enough. You're not putting out enough for others to have that value come in. So money is not money to itself. Money is just an exchange of value. So as you go through life and look for that job and try to do things better, the idea is that it's important for your outflow to happen first before the inflow comes in. And I want to share a really good story of a person that I know, and I'm going to call him Joe. And this guy, Joe, pretty good guy. He's like early 30s. I can't remember what exactly. He's early 30s. He's a smart guy, or I should say he's an intelligent guy, but he's not really smart. He's a very logical thinker, and he figures stuff out, but he doesn't have a lot of life experience. Never really did much in his life. You know, he's worked some restaurant jobs, some lower-end jobs, and that kind of thing, but he's never really accomplished anything significant in his life. He's intelligent to talk to, but he has no real life experience. For those of you who have done different things in your life, you know, it's one thing to have somebody read it out of a book, and it's another thing to apply in real life and know what the heck you're talking about. So this guy, he's got a father who is a chiropractor. And he's a chiropractor by title, but really he's more of an alternative, outside-the-box kind of a healer kind of guy. And the guy's does, and his dad's done very well. He's not rich, but he's amassed a small fortune and got a couple of houses in a couple of different states. And people seek him out because his outflow exceeds his inflow. He gives more back to people. I mean, I think you have to admit, people that do things in the medical profession, they help us live our life better. Those people are pretty important, so they should be paid well. Well, anyway, Joe's dad died a few years ago and left Joe with a pretty good fortune. I don't know exactly how much it was. It was around like $100,000, something like that. And for a lot of people, $100,000 is a lot of money. Wow, how cool would that be? What could I do with $100,000? Just hand it to me on a silver platter. And of course, like most people, he did what most people did. He went out and bought himself a big giant screen TV, and a new rocket motorcycle, and a new car, and, you know, big surround sound, a big fancy computer with 3 monitors. He spent all this money. quit his job, and he was working as a busboy at a resort. And one of the things that he did, though, is he spent like $30,000, $40,000 in this program where he learned how to make a whole bunch of money in the stock market. Now, it's a lot of money can be made in the stock market. You know, I've heard stories of lots of people, Warren Buffett, people making millions and millions of dollars in the stock market. And he chased after that money. Well, this was several years ago. Remember, outflow determines inflow. This guy's never really done anything for anybody. He's just more focused on himself, how much money he can get. So now he was handed like $100,000. Like, oh my God, I'm going to be rich and I'm going to do all this stuff in the stock market. But here it's been about 2.5 years, and I was actually having a conversation with this the other day. And for the amount of money, forget about the money he spent on the program to learn how to do this. But the money that he's lost and put back into the stock market, a little bit that he's made out, he's still not up to zero yet. He's still in the red. He's never really profited a dollar. He's a long way from making that happen. And he says to me the other day, he says, you know, I'm almost there, but I just can't figure out what part I'm missing. And I said, you know, you ever thought that maybe it would be better, maybe if he's a smart guy, I said, you know, maybe it would be better if he actually did something that maybe benefited humanity. You know, you're a smart guy, you got interested in naturopathic stuff and whatnot, you guys are massage therapists. You benefited humanity, and then, you know, make your wealth that way. He says, well, I'm going to make all the money first, then I'm going to become wealthy, you know, and then I'll maybe do something. I'm like, it's kind of backwards. I mean, all the people I know are successful. I mean, Bill Gates would like make a bunch of money, and they go, oh, now I'm going to build a stock market. It's like, no, that would take too long to learn all that stuff. I'm like, okay, whatever. So anyway, so the moral of the story is that he has no spiritual right to that money. His father made all this money and handed it to him. Now, we've all heard the story of who his money are soon parted. And I don't know if most of you know that like over 95% of people that win the lottery, within 5 years, they're in a worse financial situation than they were before they won the lottery. And the reason is they have no spiritual right to that money. They didn't do anything to earn that money. Their outflow must determine the inflow. If it's just handed to them, they're going to give it all back because they have no spiritual rights. They didn't do anything to earn that value. Because money is just in exchange for value. That's all it is. It's just a piece of paper with ink on it. Okay? So, and my friend Joe is always going to struggle until he figures out he needs to take all the material stuff and he needs to get rid of it. He needs to earn that money first, or he doesn't. So you cannot receive that which you not give. I want to talk about some choices that we make. We are all right now living the life that we've chosen. Sometimes the choices that we make are conscious, sometimes they're unconscious. But everything we do, we're here right now. All of us are here in this place right now because we made a conscious choice to be here. And the things that you've done before you got here and the life that you were living were choices that you made. And you have 100% accountability to the choices that you make, whether even if you're aware of it or not. And one of the things I help people do is help become aware that everything that's happened in their life, whether it's awesome and great or terrible and they can't figure out why, it's only because of the choice that they themselves have made. So I want to talk a little bit about things. I want you all to think about something that where you were in the past before you got here today. I mean, I think everybody's at a certain place in their life where they go, okay, I'm here today. And, you know, life is okay. Life is good. Some people may be better than others. And there's a time in your life where you can think, well, it was a lot worse than it was today. But we also have a part where we go, I'm here now, but I really want to be here. And I'm working to get over here. I'd like to be here. I'm not there, but I'm definitely not over here. And I want you to contrast where you used to be to where you are now. And think about the path that took you to get where you are today. When you were there before, you didn't know how you were going to get here, but somehow it happened. And it happened because of choices you made, but it also happened through the efforts of others. And part of it is we have a natural evolution as humans. Some people, say we should just be happy with what we've got. We'll never be happy with what we've got. In fact, if you're in a point in your life where you're happy with everything's perfect, there's actually something wrong. The only reason humanity has evolved from the point of being Neanderthals and living